Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another video today. My name is Chris, and today we're once again going to be taking a look at the map of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. Yes, this map has been updated as of, I'm sorry, why does that say Sunday? This should say Saturday. Sorry about that, guys. Saturday, September 25th, 2021. So with the closure, and as you can see, the announcement yesterday of the unfortunate closure or closing rather of the Kmart store at the Marshall Plaza Shopping Center in Marshall, Michigan. We are now down to 15 Kmarts and 19 Sears and Roebuck stores. Combine both numbers together and you get approximately 34 non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. So we're going to go over all of the liquidating and non-liquidating locations. And yes, I know SB360 Capital Partners LLC should be updating their website soon, but I wanted to go over all of the locations on the list, and then we're going to go location by location by location on the map as well that was created by Dead and Dying Retail. So anyways, let's get started with the list of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. So 15 Kmarts, 19 Sears and Roebuck stores, a total of 34. So again, these are the Kmart and Sears and Roebuck stores that are currently not liquidating. So we have the Kmart store, which is freestanding in Guam. The Kmart store at the Kmart freestanding store in Tolman, Guam. The Kmart store at the Mcknight Crossing Shopping Center in Grass Valley, California. The Kmart store at the Key Plaza Shopping Center in Key West, Florida. The Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Miami, Florida. The Kmart store at the Bitterroot Valley Shopping Center in Hamilton, Montana is the last Kmart store within the state of Montana, as well as the Kmart store at the Mcknight Crossing Shopping Center in Grass Valley, California. That's the last Kmart in the state of California. And the Kmart in Key West, Florida, and the Kmart at Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Miami, Florida, last two Kmarts in the state of Florida. Meanwhile, in my home state of New Jersey, we have the Kmart store at the Delco Plaza Shopping Center in Avenel, New Jersey, the only Kmart within New Jersey to operate 7 days a week, the only one left in Middlesex County, and yes, etc., etc., etc. But meanwhile, the other Kmart store, which is at the Westwood Plaza Shopping Center in Westwood, New Jersey, is required to be closed on Sundays, which is tomorrow, because of the Bergen County blue laws that prevent this retailer from opening its doors due to the mega retail area of Paramus. So we also have the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Common Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. That is the last Kmart on Long Island and outside of New York City that's not liquidating. The Kmart store at the Shops at Buccaneer in the Bronx, New York is the last multi-level Kmart store in the United States of America. We have the Kmart store at the Bay Plaza Shopping Center in the Bronx, New York. That's the last Kmart to have a Little Caesars pizza guy that's not liquidating, or maybe it's Buccaneer. I'm not sure. It's one of those two. We also have the Kmart store at Plaza Las Americas Shopping Center in Hato, Puerto Rico. And then we have all the other ones that are not on mainland United States, which include the Kmart store at the Sunshine Mall in St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands, the Kmart store at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center, St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands, the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands, and the Kmart store at the Lockhart Garden Shopping Center, St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. So that's approximately 15 non-liquidating Kmart stores. So meanwhile, we get to all the Sears and Roebuck stores that are currently not liquidating. So we're going to go over them. It's about 19 locations that are currently not liquidating. So we have the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. These are all Sears and Roebuck stores, but I'm just going to be calling them Sears for simplification. So we have the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. The Sears store at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in wow, why is shopping center twice? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we have the Sears store at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in I gotta just put this here for a second. In Concord, California, the Sears store at the Webster Town Mall in Stockton, California, the Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California, the Sears at the Sears Town Plaza in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the Sears freestanding store in Miami, Florida, the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida, the Sears store at the Palm Beach Gardens Mall, the Sears store at the Gardens Mall in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. So both California and Florida have a total of 4 non-liquidating Sears stores. There's also the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts, the Sears store at the Francis Scott Key Mall in Frederick, Maryland, the Sears store at the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey, the Sears store at Sunrise Mall in Massapequa, New York, the Sears store at the Newburgh Mall in Newburgh, New York, the Sears store at the Friendly Center in Greensboro, North Carolina, the Sears store at the Willow Grove Park Mall in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, the Sears store at Plaza Las Americas in San Juan, Puerto Rico, the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas, the Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tuckaloosa, Washington, and finally the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. 19 total Sears and Roebuck stores that are not liquidating. So now we get to the liquidating stores that will be closing between October and November of 2021. So with the announcement of Marshall's, so now it's 9.5 closures between next month, which is October, and as well as being November. So we have closing Sunday, October 10th, 2021. It's the Sears store at the Triangle Town Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Closing Sunday, November 14th, 2021. This is a big list, so brace for impact on this one. Sears at the Stonewood Center in Downey, California. Sears at Hastings Ranch Plaza in Pasadena, California. The last Sears Artefacto store, which is in Brooklyn, New York, that has a Kmart department. The Sears store at the Queen Kamahu Center in Kalakaui, Hawaii. The Sears store at the Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, Illinois. The Sears store at the Colonial, and finally the Sears store at the Colonial Park Mall in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And just recently, the latest edition, closing Sunday. This is for Kmart. We didn't get to that last one yet. So this is Kmart closing Sunday, November 14th, 2021. We have the Kmart store at the Crossroads Shopping Center in White Plains, New York. And then we also have the Brooklyn Mini Kmart store, which is inside the Sears store. And our latest edition with Sunday, November 21st, 2021, it's the Kmart at the Marshall Plaza Shopping Center in Marshall, Michigan. So now that we've gone through the map, we're going to go west to east on the map. So let's get started. So the first store that we're going to be hitting is on the Guam territory of the United States. This is in Tallman, Guam, just a little bit northwest of the Antonio Juan Pat International Airport. This is in Tallman, Guam. This is the only Kmart on the island and probably one of the most successful Kmarts out of the entire store fleet, at least on the western part of the world, rather. Wouldn't surprise me if Kmart or Australia buys this one. I'd be very surprised if they did, or another store will probably just move in. Who knows? So that's the Kmart store in Guam. We're going to go a little bit north up to the Pacific Coast, and then the next store that we're going to hit, because the Sears at the Queen Kamahu Center in Kalakaui, Hawaii is closing. So the next closest store after Guam is the Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tuckaloosa, Washington. This is the last Sears store in the metropolitan area of Seattle, Tacoma, and actually just a couple of miles east of the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. All right, so moving on here, the next store that we're going to hit is the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. So there it is. I don't know which one's going to close next. It might be this one or it might be the other one. But yeah, this is the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. And so given that the Kmart in Marshall, Michigan is now closing, Hamilton, Montana is the last Kmart to be on Mountain Time. It'll be really sad to see this Kmart go, but with Marshall, Michigan now closing, this Kmart store at the Bitterroot Valley Shopping Center in Hamilton, Montana could very well be one of the next Kmarts to close, unfortunately. It's one of the last stores with the vintage logo and kind of the older, not so modern Kmart logo, with the last big Kmart located in Marshall, Michigan that is now closing, unfortunately. So and then we'll quickly scoot over here to this area, and you can see the Marshall, Michigan Kmart has officially been removed, and Sears at Schaumburg is also closing as well. But Marshall, Michigan Kmart has finally been removed. So no more stores. Basically now it's just stores in Texas and along the west and east coast portions of the United States, basically, at this point. All right, so we move down the Pacific Coast. The next store that we're going to hit is the Kmart store at the Mcknight Crossing Shopping Center in Grass Valley, California. This is the last Kmart in the state of California, with South Lake Tahoe and Freedom, California closing. Kmart at the Mcknight Crossing Shopping Center in Grass Valley, California. Last Kmart store within the state of California. So. All right, we get to the greater San Francisco area. The next Sears store that we're going to hit, I believe this is this is the one at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. One of the last two, or rather last four Sears stores within the state of California. Again, it's at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. And the other Sears store is a couple miles east, and it's in Stockton, and this is at the Webstertown Mall in Stockton, California. Another Sears store. Again, this is one of four Sears stores left within the state of California, so definitely significant. Okay, and as we get down the coast, the next we're going to hit the greater Los Angeles area. So the next Sears store that we're going to hit is the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. It's a little town center here. It's one of two Sears stores left in the greater Los Angeles area. So, and it's the last one in the Los Angeles area that's not closing, that is still connected to a mall, because the other one is closing, which is Downey. Pasadena was freestanding. This is connected to a mall. So the next Sears store that we're going to hit is the Sears store at the Westwood Town Center in Whittier, California. This used to be connected to a mall at one point. Unfortunately, it is not that way anymore. So again, this is at the Westwood Town Center in Whittier, California. Okay, so the next Sears store that we're going to hit is the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. And really the success for this one is because of Sears Mexico. Sears Mexico may as well just buy this location at this point. I mean, there's no reason for them not to, especially with their CEO. It's the Sears Mexico is like the version of Macy's Mexico. Basically, that's funny. There's a little Sears just a couple, not less than a block away. That's funny to see, especially that close to a Sears store. That's very rare nowadays. So again, this is the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. And once that Sears does go, or does rather happen to close, that will be the end of Sears in Texas. So no more stores in this area. So we're going to now go all the way down here and work our way up the east coast of the United States. So we're going to take a look first at these two Kmart stores. So this is the St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands, and this is at the Mall of St. Croix, which I believe, if I take a quick look at the list, it's either the Mall of St. Croix or it is the, what's it called? Give me 1 second, guys. Or it's the Sunny Isle Shopping Center. They must have renamed the mall very recently. Okay, so it's the Mall of St. Croix. So this is the Kmart store at the Mall of St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. And we go a little bit east on that island, and we hit the next Kmart store, and this one is at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center in United States Virgin Islands. So again, this is at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center, St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands, and this is in Kristiansand. I don't even know how you pronounce that. So again, this is the Kmart store at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. Okay, and the next one we're going to hit is the St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. So this Kmart store, this is at the Lockhart Garden Shopping Center in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. And does this one have a Little Caesars? No, it's the other one that has a Little Caesars. This one may or may not have a pharmacy. But no, I think the other one in St. Thomas, that's in, this is the 22 Park Mall one. This one, I believe, has both a pharmacy and the Little Caesars, which seems to be temporarily closed. So this is the other Kmart store on St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands, and it's located at it's the Kmart store at the 22 Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. And it has both a Little Caesars, the pizza guy, and a Kmart pharmacy, which is becoming very rare now. There's only 2 Kmart pharmacies left in the United States, Grass Valley and the Bronx, with the closure of Marshall, Michigan, of course. Okay, so now we're going to hit the United States territory of Puerto Rico, and we have the Kmart store at the Plaza Las Americas. I believe that's the name of this center. Yes, Plaza Las Americas. This is the Kmart store at the Plaza Las Americas Mall in Hatoré, Puerto Rico. And then right across the street, we have the Sears store at the Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Okay, so we move along now to the coast of Florida. So Florida. Lots of Kmart stores still left. Okay, so now we're going to hit the Kmart store in Key West, Florida. And this Kmart store is at the, forget the name, okay, the Key Plaza Shopping Center in Key West, Florida. One of the last 2 Kmarts left in the state of Florida, and the last Kmart in the key regions of the state of Florida, and it's at the Key Plaza Shopping Center in Key West, Florida. Okay, so the next Kmart that we're going to be hitting is the Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Miami, Florida. And there it is. It's the last Kmart store on mainland Florida. And once this does close, and it's very likely because there's a Target less than 2 minutes away, that'll be at the end of Kmart's footprint on mainland Florida. That's not in the Keys. So this one might actually close before Key West does, but who knows? Anything is possible at this point. And then just a couple of miles east, we have the Sears freestanding store, literally just a few blocks west of downtown Miami, Florida. It's a freestanding 2-level Sears store, and it's the Sears store in Miami, Florida. So I do apologize. I kind of have to go quick because my battery is going really quick on my laptop, guys. So I do apologize about that. So I want to try and hit all the rest of the stores. Okay, so we have the Sears store. This is the Sears store at the Sears Town Plaza in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Okay, so we'll move to the next store. Go up the Atlantic coast of Florida, or the east coast of Florida, rather. So this is the Sears store at the Gardens Mall in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Okay, and the last Sears store that we have not yet seen in Florida, this is located at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida, right near Universal Studios, Florida, SeaWorld, Orlando, and Walt Disney World. So this is a pretty big pretty big ticket mall for Sears to be in. So again, this is the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida. All right, so now we're going to go up the coast, and the next Sears store that we're going to hit is the Sears store at the Friendly Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. Last Sears store within the states of North Carolina, by the way. So, pretty interesting and pretty significant. And once this one does go within the state of North Carolina for Sears, that's it for Sears in North Carolina. Right now, Triangle Town Center is doing liquidation, but liquidation will actually be finishing up in a couple of days. Sunday, October 10th, 2021 is their final day of operation, unfortunately. Okay, so we go up the coast, and the next Sears store that we're going to hit is the Sears store at the Francis Scott Key Mall in Frederick, Maryland. This is the last Sears store within the state of Maryland, And just like North Carolina, once this store goes, that's the end of Sears' presence within the state of Maryland. So pretty sad when this store does, they do eventually do announce that the store is going to close. Okay, so the next Sears store that we're going to hit is the Sears store at the Willow Grove Park Mall in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, with the unfortunate announcement of Harrisburg closing. This is the last Sears store and the last Transform Co-owned property operating as either a Sears or Kmart within the state of Pennsylvania that's currently not liquidating with SB360 Capital Partners LLC, and that could, of course, very well change given the climate of Sears closing stores, and obviously the announcement of Marshall, Michigan doesn't help, so we could be seeing some more closings down the road. So again, this is the Sears store at the Willow Grove Park Mall in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. Okay, and as we get to my home state of New Jersey, the next store that we're going to hit, this is the Kmart store in Avenel, New Jersey. It's just north of both the Menlo Park Mall in Edison, New Jersey, and the Woodbridge Center Mall in Woodbridge, New Jersey. And this is the Kmart store at the Delco Plaza Shopping Center in Avenel, New Jersey. Only Kmart within the state of New Jersey to operate approximately 7 days a week. So tomorrow, this will be the only Kmart store within the state of New Jersey to operate 7 days a week. So. Okay, so we're going to make our way still up the East Coast because we have a couple more stores to hit. The next store that we're going to hit is the Sears store at the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey. This is the last Sears store within the state of New Jersey. Once the Sears does close, Sears will no longer have a single presence within the state of New Jersey. So that will truly be the end of Sears within the state of New Jersey once Sears at Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey does finally close. Okay, and given that Brooklyn is now gone, the next Sears store that we're going to hit is the Sears store at the Sunrise Mall NY in Massapequa, New York. Last Sears store on Long Island, last Sears store in Nassau County, so definitely significant at that. Once Sears in Massapequa, New York does go, that will be the end of Sears' footprint on Long Island, because now Brooklyn is unfortunately closing. So once this goes, that'll really be the end of Sears on Long Island. Okay, and the best stocked Kmart is all the way out in the Hamptons. And again, this is the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. It was the Martha Stewart Kmart at the time. Obviously now, much of Martha Stewart's stuff is sold at Macy's. Times have certainly changed, but this was the Martha Stewart Kmart at one point because I guess she had some kind of house out at the Hamptons. So my guess was she would frequently shop here and she would do meet and greets at this Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center, Bridgehampton, New York. It wouldn't surprise me if Target could easily buy this if that were the case. So. All right, so we're going to boomerang back to the Bronx, and we're going to hit the two Kmarts there, and then we have only a couple more locations to see. So every time I do these videos, guys, the list just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So the next Kmart that we're going to hit is the Kmart store at the Shops at Buccaneer in the Bronx. This is the last two-level, multi-level Kmart store within the United States of America that's not outside the main continental United States. So definitely significant. Once this goes, no more two-level Kmarts within the United States of America once the Kmart in the Bronx goes. Oh, and by the way, this is one of two Kmarts left that is not liquidating that still has a Kmart-branded pharmacy. Meanwhile, just across town in the Bronx, we have the Kmart store at the Bay Plaza Shopping Center in the Bronx, New York. This is, I believe, the last Kmart to have a Little Caesars, the guy that does pizza, that's not currently liquidating right now. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, and we go quickly back to my home state of New Jersey, and we're going to be hitting the Kmart store at the Westwood Plaza Shopping Center in Westwood, New Jersey. This is the last Kmart store within North Jersey, in Bergen County, New Jersey, and this Kmart store, unfortunately, is required to be closed on Sundays because of the Bergen County Blue Laws. which is tomorrow, that will prevent this retailer from opening, so it only operates Monday through Saturday. Sundays, this Kmart is closed. So if in New Jersey you wanted to get your fix of Kmart on the Sunday, you're going to have to drive all the way down to Avenel to get that fix of Kmart tomorrow, or just on a Sunday in general. So again, this is the Kmart store at the Westwood Plaza Shopping Center in Westwood, New Jersey, and it's located in Bergen County, New Jersey, with the Kmart in Avenel, New Jersey, being located in Middlesex County, New Jersey. Okay, so the only other Sears store that is still operating within New York State, because we're now down to two, then it's the Sears store at the Newburgh Mall in Newburgh, New York. This Sears store has not yet started liquidation sales. It could very well happen down the road, but it's still here. Again, it's the Sears store at the Newburgh Mall in Newburgh, New York. And finally, we get to the last store to go over. And this is very significant too. This is the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts. This is the last Transform Co. owned property within the state of Massachusetts, the last Sears store within the state of Massachusetts, and the last Sears Kmart branded in the New England region of the United States. So a lot to last with this one. Once this goes in Sears Braintree, Massachusetts, next closest one I believe will be in Newburgh, New York, after this one does close, unfortunately. So, all right, so guys, that's about going to do it for this video of going over the liquidating and the non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will be linking the map that was created by Dead and Dying Retail in the video description below. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and that will be it.